Good day, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Bernie Sanders just offered Joe Manchin a new deal on stimulus, and it comes in the form of an ultimatum. Yes, Bernie Sanders is finally putting his foot down to expand benefits in this next stimulus package. Now, all of this is happening as Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema have been fighting to lower the overall cost of that package from 3.5 to something around 1.5 to 2 trillion. Of course, they've been trying to do that for months. Now, a couple of days ago, Pelosi announced that they're bending to the will of Joe Manchin, and they're probably going to have to lower the overall price tag of this package. Now, Bernie Sanders is still fighting to include the $1,000 stimulus check for seniors on top of the potential $2,000 stimulus check that other progressives are trying to include in this package. And while Democrats are still putting together the current stimulus package, there's already talks about doing another stimulus package in 2022, even though they haven't even finished this current stimulus package. So with all of this going on, Bernie Sanders is fighting to include extra payments in this stimulus package, and he finally came out slamming Joe Manchin, putting his foot down, saying, you know what? These certain things are going to be included in this package no matter what. So let's discuss the details in this video, but before we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I also have a second channel, so if you guys could do me a huge favor, click on the link that's in the description of this video, subscribe to my second channel. I'm going to be giving away a stimulus check on that channel just as a thank you for supporting my work. All right, so let's jump right into it. This article is titled, Senator Bernie Sanders Calls for Democratic Unity to Help Pass Party's Voter-Backed Spending Package. Essentially, Bernie Sanders is putting pressure on moderates, telling them, hey, the American people want this stimulus package. The large majority of American voters want this stimulus package to be approved, and they want the $1,000 stimulus check for seniors. They want $2,000 stimulus checks. They want to expand Medicare to include vision, dental, and hearing care, and they want to expand Medicare to those who are 60 years old as well. So the gloves have come off, and Bernie Sanders is putting a lot of pressure on Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema to unite with Democrats, just like Republicans unite. We've seen over the last couple of years, Republicans tend to unite strongly to either oppose Democrats or to approve their own budget plans that they have done in the past. Now Bernie Sanders is slamming Joe Manchin for saying, hey, we are all united except for you and Kyrsten Sinema. So you have to get on board because the American people want these things to get done, and 95% of Democrats in Congress want this to get done as well. This article reads, Senator Bernie Sanders is calling for Democratic unity to help pass President Biden's Build Back Better agenda, to which Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema have notably remained key hurdles. Both lawmakers have issues with the legislation's overall cost and certain provisions that are going to be included. Now, Bernie Sanders recently said, will all Democrats stand together to protect the interests of the elderly, the children, the sick, and the poor? Will all Democrats agree to take on the pharma companies and the healthcare industry, as well as corrupt campaign money? I certainly hope so. And when he says all, he's referring to Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin. A new CNN poll found that 75% of the party's constituents, which are the Democratic voters, prefer a bill that goes further to expand the social safety net, expand Social Security, expand Medicare, provide stimulus payments for seniors, and combat climate change over one that costs less and has fewer stimulus. So people prefer a larger stimulus package. And these same Democratic voters who were polled said that just 20% of them prefer a smaller stimulus package, and even 2/3 of Democratic voters who consider themselves moderate or conservative Democrats are in favor of a more robust stimulus package. So Bernie is putting his foot down, guys, and he is no longer playing Mr. Nice Guy with Joe Manchin. I mean, Bernie Sanders is the Senate Budget Committee chairman, and that means he is in charge of writing most of the stimulus package. And this whole time, he's been compromising. Remember, he wanted this package to be $6 trillion, and they cut it almost in half to 3.5. The American people want 3.5. The American people want stimulus checks. They want to expand Medicare. And now Joe Manchin is saying, nope, we have to do a $1.5 trillion package. And Bernie Sanders is not playing Mr. Nice Guy anymore. He is playing hardball with Joe Manchin, and he just said that we have to include $1,000 stimulus checks for seniors, and we have to include a Medicare expansion no matter what. So the deal that Bernie Sanders offered Joe Manchin is, hey, we can cut some other things and we can have that discussion. But a couple of things that cannot be cut is the Medicare expansion to include vision, dental, and hearing care, as well as lowering the eligibility age to 60 instead of 65, as well as the $1,000 stimulus check for seniors. These two things have to be included in that stimulus package. So this is the deal that Bernie Sanders is offering Joe Manchin. These two things are untouchable, and they have to be included. Everything else we can have a discussion on. So this was just announced today. And it's a good deal. We'll lower the price tag, the overall cost, by cutting some things here and there, but we won't cut Medicare expansion and we won't cut the $1,000 checks for seniors. And we do think those $1,000 checks would apply to SSI and SSDI as well, but we're still waiting for the details on who exactly would qualify. Now, one thing people are talking about is potentially lowering the monthly stimulus checks that families with kids will get. Because remember, Democrats are already giving families with kids $300 per month per kid, which for some families is over $1,000 a month, and they want to expand that until the end of 2025. Now, one thing that's being floated is cutting that in half. So give families $150 per month per kid and use the other half to give it to seniors. Whether you use that money to do a $1,000 check, or you can cut that in half and give seniors $150 per month until 2025 as well. Makes sense, right? Because when seniors are being hit the most by this pandemic, we should be helping seniors as much as we help families. Same thing goes for those who are disabled. If we can give half of that to families, so $150 per month, and then use the other half for SSI and SSDI, imagine how far that would go to help people who are disabled, to help them put food on the table, to help them live a life of dignity. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. Now, the good news here is that Bernie Sanders is finally starting to put his foot down, guys, and he is no longer taking it easy on Joe Manchin. He recently held an interview on CNN explaining that he's already made a compromise by lowering to 3.5. So lowering to 1.5 is completely ridiculous, on top of the fact that the American people want this stimulus package to get done, and the American people are okay with 3.5 as long as it includes direct stimulus for the American people. So let's take a look and see exactly what Bernie Sanders said.
Where do you see this moving, though? I mean, again, it comes down right now to Sinema and Manchin. They seem to have a lower number, certainly. If it gets down to just, what is the number, priorities do have to be, there have to be some priorities.
Well, again, I think, I'm not going to negotiate on TV.
I didn't expect
but I think there is going to have to be some give and take. But let's be clear. We started this process in the Senate Budget Committee, which I chair, at a $6 trillion amount, which, by the way, is the least of what we need if we are, in fact, going to transform our energy system and deal with the existential threat of climate. All right, we came down from 6 to 3.5 trillion. Okay, that is a huge, huge compromise. So I think, at the very least, in my view, we have got to be at 3.5 trillion. And here's the problem that we're facing. I don't begrudge Senator Sinema or Senator Manchin their views. They are more than entitled to their views. Everybody has a different point of view, that's fine. But what I do think is simply unfair is that two members of the Senate think that they have a right to obstruct what the overwhelming majority of the American people want, what the president wants, and what 48 out of 50 members, 96% of the U.S. Senate, and about an equal number in the House. That's just not right. I could go forward to Senator Schumer, any member of the Senate, and say, Chuck, if you don't put this thing in there, I'm out. I'm not going to vote for it. But that's not right. What we have to do is work together. I'm chairman of the committee. I have heard from zillions of members, and we're trying to work this out. At the end of the day, I hope and expect that we will.
Pretty reasonable, if you ask me, right? A $3.5 trillion package, which is less than the tax cuts that we've given billionaires over the last decade. So if we can give billionaires tax cuts at the same price, we could definitely use that same amount to approve more stimulus. Now, Bernie Sanders has been going on a tirade, really highlighting the fact that the American people want these things to get done. And he just said maybe, just maybe, Congress might want to serve the needs of the American people and not wealthy campaign contributors. A new poll by CBS finds that overwhelming support for these provisions exists in the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. This poll shows that when it comes to lowering prescription drug costs, 88% of Democratic voters support this idea. When it comes to expanding Medicare coverage for dental, eye, and hearing care, 84% of Democratic voters support this as well. When it comes to making it a government mandate that jobs have to give you paid family and medical leave, that has the support of 73% of Democratic voters, and expanding universal preschool, making it universal for every child, 67% of Democrats approve of this. And I bet if they polled people and asked, do you approve of increasing Social Security benefits and giving seniors a $1,000 stimulus check? I guarantee you that the overwhelming majority of people would vote yes. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. Now, Bernie Sanders went on to kind of slam Joe Manchin, saying that the time is long overdue for Senator Manchin to say with specificity, specifically going beyond generalities, what he wants and what he doesn't want in this package to explain to the people of West Virginia and America. He is saying that the people of West Virginia need help as well. The seniors in West Virginia need a $1,000 stimulus check. They need an increase in Social Security benefits. They need an expansion of Medicare. So you need to take care of your own people, Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin has not been giving specific details of what he wants and doesn't want in this package, which is also slowing down negotiations. So let's quickly take a look and see what Bernie had to say.
I don't believe that we should turn our society into an entitlement society.
Now, Senator Manchin, as I understand it, talked about today about not wanting to see our country become an entitlement society. Well, I am not exactly sure what he means by that. Does that mean that we end the $300 direct payments for working class parents, which have cut childhood poverty in this country as a result of the American Rescue Plan in half? Is protecting working families and cutting childhood poverty and entitlement? Senator Manchin has been extremely critical of the $3.5 trillion proposal that many of us support. In fact, 9 out of 11 members of the Budget Committee support. But the time is long overdue for him to tell us with specificity, not generalities, we're beyond generalities, with specificity, what he wants and what he does not want, and to explain that to the people of West Virginia and America. I look forward to working with Senator Manchin and everyone else in the Senate to pass a strong reconciliation bill as well as a bipartisan infrastructure bill. Thank you.
So apparently to Joe Manchin, Social Security is an entitlement. Well, I'm not sure if he realizes that you've paid into Social Security benefits your entire life, right? You worked your entire life paying taxes on top of Social Security taxes. The government promised to give you that money back in the form of enough to live in a retirement of dignity. And now Joe Manchin says, oh, you know what? You're entitled. You want to live in a retirement of dignity? You are entitled and you are privileged. I mean, Joe Manchin, give me a break. People have paid their entire lives into the system. And then inflation continues to eat away at Social Security benefits. So if you pay your entire life, then you get Social Security benefits, but inflation makes everything more expensive. You then also have to increase Social Security benefits in turn to allow people to live a good retirement. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. Bernie Sanders is slamming Joe Manchin, saying that these things are not entitlements. These are things that the American people deserve, and the U.S. should be a compassionate and rewarding society. So guys, let's take a look at this clip as well and see what Bernie Sanders had to say.
He thinks that you want America to be an entitlement society where he doesn't want that. He wants what he called a compassionate and rewarding society.
I'm not quite sure, and we need Mr. Manchin, Senator Manchin, to help us out here, what a compassionate and rewarding society is about. Does that mean addressing the reality that 600,000 people in America are homeless? Does it mean dealing with the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality that we have? Does it mean, dealing with the fact that 1 out of 4 Americans can't fill the prescriptions that their doctors write because the price of drugs in this country is in some cases 10 times higher than it is in Canada and other countries. So we need some specificity. Now, he wants to say, I believe in an entitlement society. I would not look at it, use that phraseology. I do believe in a nation based on economic, social, racial, and environmental justice. Yeah, frankly, I admit it. You got it right here on your show. I believe that all Americans are entitled as human beings to health care. I believe people are entitled to quality education regardless of their income. I believe that people are entitled to affordable housing. I don't believe that 2 people are entitled to own more wealth than the bottom 40% of American society. And by the way, one of the things that's playing out here, Rachel, I don't think the media has paid appropriate attention to it, is in the midst of all of this, the ruling class of this country, and that is the drug companies, the insurance companies, fossil fuel industry, they're spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Pharmaceutical industry has 1,500 paid lobbyists on Capitol Hill, 3 lobbyists for every member of Congress, so that we don't raise prescription drugs. The American people are very clear. They want to substantially lower the cost of prescription drugs. They want to expand home health care so that people are not forced out of their homes into nursing homes. They want to expand Medicare so that elderly people can have dental care, can have hearing aids, can have eyeglasses. They want us to address the existential threat of climate change. And I'll tell you what else they want. They are sick and tired of the rich getting richer and not paying their fair share of taxes. And they want this reconciliation bill to be paid for by doing away with the loopholes that the wealthy and large corporations enjoy. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer made it clear. We're going down this road in a dual way. Both bills have got to be linked together because there is a strong feeling on the part of many of us that if you just pass the infrastructure bill, which is a good bill, I voted for it, then we will not get to the bill that working families really want, that finally demands that the wealthiest people in this country start paying their fair share of taxes. We have the American people very, very strongly on our side. We've got the President of the United States on our side. We've got 96% of the members of the Democratic caucus in the House on our side. We got all but 2 senators at this point and the Democratic caucus on our side. We're going to win this thing. We're going to pass a strong infrastructure bill to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, and we're going to pass a reconciliation bill.
Bernie Sanders finally playing hardball with Joe Manchin, finally putting his foot down. We will have $1,000 stimulus checks for seniors. We will expand Medicare to include vision, dental, and hearing care. We will stand up to the pharmaceutical companies who are lobbying to keep prescription drug costs expensive for seniors. We will include funding for home health care so seniors don't have to live in nursing homes. Guys, I understand your frustration that these negotiations have taken way too long, but right now things are really heating up, and Bernie Sanders is really pushing on Joe Manchin to make sure that the American people know, hey, everybody wants these things to get done. Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, it's on you if they don't, and I'm going to push as hard as I can to make sure that we take care of seniors and make sure that we take care of those who are disabled and make sure that we take care of children as well. So guys, there are a lot of updates to come as negotiations continue and Democrats inch closer and closer to getting these next 2 stimulus packages done. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will keep you posted on the next 2 stimulus packages, Social Security changes, and daily news updates as well. So thank you so much for watching, and until the next video, take care and have a great day.